She was engaged. Safe, secure. Everything planned. Then one night, one stranger. One mistake, and it all fell apart. She ran to escape the guilt. But guess who was already at the resort she escaped to? The stranger. Her mistake. Her maybe. Now she has to choose. The life she built, or the love that wrecked it. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Every story here is short but meaningful, crafted to inspire, connect, and maybe even change the way you see things. So sit back, relax, and let today's story take you somewhere new. Let's begin. The party was loud, the music thumping, and the air thick with the scent of alcohol and perfume. Emma had only come to support her best friend, who was celebrating her promotion. She wasn't much of a drinker, but that night, the champagne flowed too easily. Across the room, Daniel was nursing a whiskey, his mind heavy with the weight of his family's expectations. His engagement to Sophia, daughter of his father's business partner, was set in stone, a merger more than a marriage. Their eyes met by accident, a fleeting glance that lingered too long. One drink turned into two, then into laughter, whispered secrets, and stumbling steps toward his apartment. The night blurred into tangled sheets, heated touches, and a connection neither of them expected. Morning came with a sharp clarity. Guilt settled heavily in Emma's chest as she stared at her engagement ring, the diamond catching the sunlight. Daniel ran a hand through his hair, his mind racing. They exchanged no names, no numbers, just a silent agreement to forget. But forgetting proved impossible. Days turned into weeks, and the memory of that night haunted them both. Emma found herself staring blankly at her fiancé Mark during dinner, wondering if love was supposed to feel this. Routine. Daniel, meanwhile, argued with his parents, questioning why his happiness had to be sacrificed for business. Desperate for clarity, they both sought escape. Emma booked a secluded beach resort, needing solitude to clear her mind. Daniel, on impulse, chose the same place, a quiet paradise far from the city's chaos. They, it seemed, had other plans. On the second evening, Emma walked along the shoreline, the waves lapping at her feet. When she saw him, Daniel stood a few feet away, his expression mirroring her shock. For a heartbeat, they simply stared. Then, without a word, they closed the distance between them.
I couldn't forget you.
Daniel admitted, his voice rough.
Neither could I.
Emma whispered. Emma learned his name was Daniel. He learned hers was Emma. They laughed at the absurdity of not knowing before, yet it felt like they had always known each other. The resort was paradise, but paradise never lasts. Emma and Daniel spent 3 days drowning in each other, skin against skin, secrets whispered in the dark, promises neither could keep. But reality loomed. On the fourth morning, Emma's phone buzzed relentlessly. Mark, her fiancé, wondering where she was. Daniel's screen lit up with calls from his father, no doubt demanding his return for another family discussion about the wedding. They sat on the balcony, the ocean stretching endlessly before them, but the silence between them was heavy.
What do we do now?
Emma asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Daniel exhaled sharply, running a hand through his hair.
I don't know, but I know I can't marry Sophia.
Emma twisted her engagement ring, her stomach nodding.
I don't think I can marry Mark either.
The admission hung in the air. It was terrifying. It was freeing. The resort stay ended with a whispered promise.
We'll fix this.
But fixing things was harder than they thought. Emma returned home and broke off her engagement, unable to look Mark in the eye as she handed back the ring. His quiet devastation was worse than any anger.
I hope he was worth it,
he said softly before walking away. Daniel, meanwhile, faced a storm. His father disowned him on the spot. Sophia humiliated. made sure the business world knew of his betrayal. His inheritance vanished overnight. For weeks, they clung to each other. Texts in the dead of night, stolen meetings and empty parking lots. But the guilt ate at them. One rainy evening, Emma sat across from Daniel in a dimly lit diner.
We destroyed lives.
She said, stirring her coffee absently. Daniel's jaw tightened,
I'd do it again.
but Emma shook her head.
That's the problem. We would, and that scares me.
The truth hung between them. Love wasn't enough to absolve the wreckage they'd left behind. They gave it 6 months. 6 months of trying to build something from the ashes. But some fires burned too hot to last. On their last night together, Emma pressed a small box into Daniel's hands. Inside was a silver compass, the same one she bought at the resort where they'd reunited.
So you never get lost again.
She whispered. Daniel kissed her one last time, memorizing the feel of her.
I'll always be lost without you.
5 years later, Emma opened her own art gallery in a coastal town. Mark visited once, with a new wife and a baby on the way. They shared a polite coffee. No hard feelings. Daniel rebuilt his career from scratch. On business trips, he'd stare at the ocean, tracing the edge of the compass in his pocket. One winter, by chance, they both booked the same resort, the one where it all began. They saw each other across the lobby, a heartbeat of recognition, a smile tinged with sorrow. Then they turned and walked away. Because some loves aren't meant to last, just to change you forever. They shared something unforgettable: passion, mistakes, and a love that couldn't last. One choice, one night. It changed everything for them. But sometimes, it's not about whether love lasts. It's about what it teaches you. Not every love is meant to stay. Some are meant to set you free, even if it hurts. So ask yourself, is it the love you want, or the lesson it leaves behind? Remember, some loves aren't meant to last. They're meant to change you. Thank you so much for watching and supporting this channel. It truly means the world to me. Whether you're a longtime viewer or just discovered these stories, I'm so grateful you're here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more stories. Thanks again, you're the heart of this channel.